Hi there, thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Catherine. I know I said I was going to put away junk journals and concentrate on my painting and sketchbooking for the rest of the summer, but as I was hunting through my books this week and I found this one that I had started. I had already taken the and I think we went over it together. I had already taken the text block out and the little liner that I was going to find something to do with the liner, the spine liner, came out. It just popped out nicely. And the end pages were so cute, so I was going to actually put them back in. Dr. Drummond's Complete Poems, and I apologize right now, my blue nails are now completely bashed up and battered. The thumbnail, it had to go. It was just sad looking. So I have one naked nail. Anyhow, this book is from 1926. So it is 99 years old. So it's an old one. And it needs a bit of love. The hinges were starting to get holes in them. If I held it up to the window, you could see they were going to give way quite soon. And this certainly is the top. The head and the foot of the spine are in very sad condition. And I'm probably just going to find a nice little piece of lace to put across the top and the bottom to reinforce that, although I might use fabric. I'm not sure yet. I'm not going to keep this. If you recall, I had this old photo, and I just love it, of this woman with her little dog in front of an old house. It reminded me of the house my mother lived in downtown Toronto. Her family lived there during her teenage years. She grew up in Aurora, Ontario, but then during her teenage years they moved down to Toronto, and it looks like the house on Major Street where she spent most of her teen years growing up, and where she was when she met my dad. So I just really like how that looks there on this dark brown with the sepia toned photo, and it actually is a photo. I love that. And then I think I'm going to use this little pull handle that I found last week on my outing with Nancy and Alice. And I think they just look like they were meant together. Before I had this, when I was originally going to make this journal, I was going to maybe put some collage-y things in behind. I don't know, fabric or ripped paper or whatever. But now that I have this, and it's the absolute perfect width, I love that simplicity of the old photo and that drawer pull. And I was able, if you watched the video that I posted earlier, well, last week, I guess, it was really, really warped. You can see part of it still is. But for the most part, I was able to get it flattened out. I didn't want to break it, so I gently used a hammer with a cloth on it and gave it a few whacks. and for the most part, it came out very well, and I will be able to use brads. And I have some little brown ones. They're just tiny little brown ones that will be perfect. They're the exact color of that rusty brown metal that's underneath the paint. and I really, really love it. So they're going to look really great in behind there. And I just love that simplicity. So it's kind of mysterious looking, so nevertheless it does need to be an all sorts book that has, you know, we're left to wonder, who is this woman, who's her little dog. She obviously loved him enough to want him in the picture, and he was obviously well behaved enough to sit still for his photo op. And I like how, if you look closely in the window, she has lace curtains hanging in the window there. And I always think of, my mother used to say there were two kinds of Irish, lace curtain Irish and pigs in the pantry Irish. And she always claimed that her family were pigs in the pantry Irish. But I like to think that maybe this lady was lace curtain Irish, or trying her best to be. So so I think, yeah, she's gonna go there, and this is going to go here. So we will, we're going to do that now. Now I already did go ahead and line the inside just with some very thin cotton, because I want it to still be floppy. Once I make the new text block, my text block to put in it, that will help encourage the spine to just get a nice gentle curve to it. And I'm not going to do anything further as far as lining it. I was tempted to put a bit of a thin liner in there, you know, maybe with some file folder type weight, but I don't think so. I think this will be enough, and I like the way it feels. And so by the time we're done, there will be 2 layers of fabric here, because when I sew together the text block, I will be putting it in as a hidden hollow back spine. So that means it will also have fabric wings here. And so that will double the, if I just put a little bit of the glue right next to the hinge there, that will also give it a little bit more strength. So there we go. So what I'm going to do now is gel medium to glue down the photo, and then we're going to use an awl and poke holes to put the little handle with the keyhole. And that needs to be done now, because when at the very end, once I've got the text block in and I want to put this, I'm going to put these back in as end papers. See what I mean? These were the original loose leaf of the end papers, so they're going to just go back in over the ones that were there. That way it will cover up the wings of the brads that will be holding the little handle, the drawer pull, in place. So there we go. And I'm going to, when I put the gel medium on this, I'm just going to eyeball. I'm going to use these sides as my guide, and then sort of push it up into place so it's covering that. And I'm just going to eyeball it that I've got it perfectly covering the original Dr. Drummond's complete poems. So hold on, and I'm going to go get the gel medium. Okay, so so much for me. Always changing my mind, always going back on what I say. But you know what? the heart wants what it wants. And I saw this book and thought, oh, I forgot about this one. So we'll do it. I don't want to get any. I don't want any to blop through. Is that an official junk or a crafty term? Blop through for the glue. So I'm going to, let me get some. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah, there we go. Oh, I gotta hurry. So this can, I don't want it to dry on me. Ah, I don't want it going over the edge. It's always nerve-wracking. Never a dull moment. There we go. All right. I'm going to stand up and make sure that I've covered that, and then I'm going to slide it up, and there we go. My handy dandy brayer that Nancy found for me when she was out thrifting. Now, it'll seem like a split second, but I'm going to put it under a weight and give that a few minutes. So, give me a second. Okay, there we go. Oh, I know I should have put my microphone on today, but it's not charged, so that poses a problem. This is just crumbly. The head and the foot of the spine is just crumbly. Now, this may continue to catch or tear on things, and I don't mind that because it would eventually naturally look like the last all sorts. I'm trying to reach it over here. You might be wondering, why is she groaning? I made this look all mucked up and that. This one can just naturally do it on its own. I don't think it will too much. I think it'll do it just enough on its own after a few more years of wear and tear. So now this little handle, this sweet little handle that I'm not going to tell you what I paid for it, but I couldn't resist it, so it is what it is. I'm going to turn that up so I can see. Put that up a little higher. I think I like it around there. I've got it on my knee pad. foam pad because I'll be using the awl. Okay, there we go. And is it centered under that picture? Yes. Boy, I'm probably making this too hard for myself. Oh well. All right, you. One. I can make it bigger later. 2. 3. Oh, I felt it move. I want to make sure. There we go. There we go. 4. All right, this is a little bit easier. If it's crooked, it's a little easier to fix or to adjust than trying to peel off an entire photo. All right, now if you flip it over, you'll see that there are the paper displacement makes like little volcanoes. And for me, I have found that the easiest way to deal with paper volcanoes is using a craft knife or box cutter. In my case, I'm going to use my little paper knife, book cutting knife that my son-in-law made for me. He sharpens knives, and he was just over the other day. My daughter needed some mending done on, and she doesn't have a sewing machine. So he came along and brought his sharpening gear and said, "Do you have any knives that need sharpening?" And I came running up here and grabbed this one. And so he sharpened this up for me, and it's beautiful. Even he was very proud of himself. So, but a craft knife will do the same thing. I tried before just simply hammering these back down. I thought, oh, I'll be clever, I'll hammer it back down, but the hole's still there and the brads will go through. No, the brads did not want to go through. That much paper that has been displaced just refilled the hole. So I have to be careful with this, because if it skipped and jumped and landed right in my hand, I could find myself getting some serious repair work done at the ER. Don't want that. I don't want that. So yeah, so he sharpened it for me, so it'll be good to go for a while longer. There we go. All right. Now, where did I put my little homemade case? There it is. Made out of business cards. There. All right. There we go. And this sweet little baby. I need to trim these fingernails. They're driving me. They are too long. Oh, good. I was worried that the prongs weren't going to be long enough, but I can feel them on the back, and they're going to be fine. I'm going to put them back onto here so that they'll... Nope, that's not going to work. Okay, this is going to be tricky. I think I may have to hold them in place while I do this. The handle is getting in the way and I can't lay it flat. There. That's good. Boy, knives sure are handy when we're making our books, aren't they? There we go. I have a little dog who's giving us the treatment again today. Oh my goodness, when she decides she's not eating. It's just a constant worry for us. Today is a I don't feel like eating day. And she's been checked over and checked over. We've even in the past taken her to the emergency hospital. And our vet said, nope, she's just, that's the way she is. My groomer is actually used to breed and show champion poodles. And before she got into poodles, she had collies. So she's had a lot of dogs in her lifetime. She's a lady around my age. And when she stopped showing poodles, she decided she still enjoyed grooming dogs because, of course, she learned how to groom her own poodles. Anyhow, I was telling her the problems we have with trying to get Kirby to eat some days because she'll end up throwing up bile. Michelle was saying, she said, I swear poodles are the only dogs I know that will literally starve themselves just because they feel like it. And that's our girl. I have tried everything. I've cooked chicken breast for her. I've cooked a little bit of steak for her to just try and get something in her stomach. And people will say, oh, sooner or later she'll eat. No, she actually won't. She will go so long and then she'll start throwing up bile, stomach acid, and then she can make herself very sick from not eating. And it's just, and every once in a while she just gets it into her head, and we can tell right away. In the morning she'll walk over to her bowl, nice fresh dinner there. I've tried home cooked, I've tried canned, I've tried everything except raw. And I can tell right away if she wakes up in the morning with an attitude. That's what I call it now. And she'll go over and she'll sniff it, and then she'll go back to her bed and lay down in it and look at me. So then we even have doggy Pepsid. The actual medical ingredient is famotidine. And we have, I just constantly, my vet keeps it, keeps renewing it for me, for her. Famotidine, so that when she gets her stomach, when she gets herself with an upset stomach, I can at least give her some famotidine, and then usually within a few hours she will start eating again. But as of today, it is actually, right now it's Saturday, and it's about 4:30 in the afternoon, and she hasn't eaten yet today. We've tried taking her for a walk. Maybe that would build up an appetite. Happily went on her walk. Loves going on a walk. Happily went. And, ooh, you go up there. And we thought, oh, maybe she'll come home with an appetite and have her breakfast. Nope. Tried heating up the breakfast because you know, eventually you will literally resort to anything to get your dog to eat. And nope, tried putting salt-free chicken broth on it. Nope. So we wait, and hopefully, fingers crossed, she will be hungry by dinner time and eat some dinner. We'll see. There we go. I just want to make sure that when this goes back down, that that the old end papers aren't showing through. If this doesn't work, quite often, and Nancy taught me this, is to just use like a little wet cloth, and it will usually, the paper will just roll off. But if this works, this is usually my first go-to for getting off the papers around the edges. It's tedious, but you know what, the things we do for our love of making junk journals. You know what I'm going to do? This is a no-brainer. You don't need to spend your time watching me lifting up the edges. I'm going to put you back in here. Oh my goodness, I love that cover. I just love that. I just want to show you, I've had a lot of questions about, I posted a quick little, I sped it up, a little flip through, like a short reel of the Book of Life. And I had a lot of questions about, we want a real one. Yes, a real Chatterbox tour will be coming. Hold on. Okay, so the All Sorts journal, I did put in a new label that says All Sorts journal, and I do like that very much. I will be doing a tour, a narrated tour through it, so don't worry about that. I'm just holding off posting it. I'm going to post it right before I put it in my shop. That way it'll be fresh in everyone's mind. If I posted the tour now, and then say our postal strike still isn't resolved for another month, it will go out of people's minds that what this book is that suddenly shows up in my shop. So that's why I wanted to put your mind at rest. I will be doing a narrated tour of this book, and if you remember, there's still this one. Oh, I'm throwing books around over there. There's still this one, Once Upon a Time. And I already have recorded the narrated tour through this one. And again, same thing. When I can finally list it in my Etsy shop, when I'm finally able to ship it, that's when I will post the video. And same with Little Miss Ada Jane. Remember her? Yeah, same thing. So I actually, the video is already recorded. It's just, I have it private right now. And then I will be, I'll be putting this one back in. I took it off my listing for a while. I love this journal. It's like a boho shabby chic journal that I made from scratch. And all the papers are hand torn, and it's just got oodles and oodles of really fun laces, even like tulle, a little tulle edging there, and it's just so, so, so pretty. I love this journal so much. And for some reason, when I first put it in my shop, it had no interest. It's got all these long, cool threads. This journal, it's a beautiful journal. So, so I will be reposting this into, this was harder than I thought it was going to be, but it was well worth it. It will be reposted into my Etsy shop, so I'll do a tour of it again. And then I have a question for you. Good, I'm at 30 minutes. So if you recall, this cover, which is so pretty, was previously my ideas journal for me to put in the good ideas that other junk journal creators come up with, so that when I need some inspiration, I could go through it and go, oh yeah, I'm going to make one of those, or oh, I'm going to do one of those tuck spots. And this was mine. And so then I cut the, when it was turned out to be too small to be my ideas journal, I cut the threads and pulled the signatures out, and the cover is still so pretty. And do you think that this would make a nice naked junk journal? Or even, you know, because it's got a king and a queen, and I guess that's their prince who has returned, having slain the dragon. Oh, I guess this is the young lady in waiting, waiting for him to return and perhaps marry her. You know, I was thinking maybe of turning it into a journal to put into my Etsy shop. It's just such a pretty cover, and it seems like such a shame I didn't have the heart to get rid of it when I took it apart. I turned one of those Better Homes and Gardens binders into my new ideas journal. So I still have this, and it's ready to go. And I could either use these holes and poke them right through. So I could maybe use gold thread and poke them right through here, which I think would be really pretty. And I haven't done that in a long time. Or I could figure out a way, maybe lift that by using my knife so that I could put in a hidden hollow back spine. Not sure. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, if you have an opinion one way or the other, whether you think this would be worth my while to make a journal out of it, whether you think people would be interested in a junk journal with this cover, as opposed to when I usually use really, really old books. This is vintage. This is, I think it was from the 1960s, I seem to recall. And although the cover was really pretty, the inside pictures were not, which is a shame. When I first got it, saw it on the shelf, I thought, oh, this is going to be fantastic. And the inside illustrations were blech. But the cover, I mean, that's magical. Absolutely magical. Anyhow, so there we go. So I hope that answers the question for people who were thinking, what, we got ripped off? A 1 minute flip through? No. That was sort of like, think of that as an amuse-bouche, as an appetizer to just tickle your appetite and hold you over until Canada Post can start delivering packages again. They're supposed to hold another vote on Monday, but from what I've heard, we've been told not to hold our breath. Apparently they're telling the postal workers to vote no on it. So, and I want I want those hard workers to get a good deal and what have you. So I'm torn between wanting to be supportive of them and wanting to be able to start shipping things again. Alrighty. Well, listen, thanks for joining me today, and I hope you're all safe and well, physically and emotionally, during these challenging times for the whole world. And say hi down below, and I'll say hi back at you. So take care, and we'll talk soon. Bye. Oh, my fingers match that bow. Bye.